there was like this TikToker that really like opened my eyes to like and made me want to own being a witch more. He was like, there's gonna be people that are gonna say their opinions, and if they go against who you are, you just become louder. Because like at the
Mhm.
end of the day, like you guys both have your opinions and stuff. So like if they're like, "Oh, you're wrong," da, 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 and you're just like, "Oh, okay," and like then they win versus be like, da, 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 and it's like you guys have a fighting chance of like being seen, and like it's not like one person dominating the other. And I feel like religious people love dominating and like pushing this narrative that um if you don't choose their religion then like you're demonic, and it's so disrespectful. Like I'm to the point where it's like it's so disrespectful. If you're offended, good. I want you to be offended. You should be offended if you're hating that hard on someone you don't even know. It's still scary navigating.
Even like among witches, we still get like the love and light sometimes a little bit too much. Like we're like, oh, we'll like kill them with kindness. Like they don't hear kindness. The people who are yelling hate don't hear the kindness. They're just like, I won. And I guess it doesn't matter if they think they won, but sometimes it's like you're right. Like you need to actually say something. Like you have to actually fight.
Your confidence in who you are is an act of defiance to them.
Totally.
The more you own it, the more it triggers them, and it's like good. Triggers are supposed to like help you to really evaluate why you have those triggers, and like it has nothing to do with you.
Right. That's something that's so cool about witchcraft is like we're just not afraid of the triggers. That
Mm.
has taught me so much. Just like this scared me or made me mad, and now I get to figure out why, and it's actually kind of fun once you look at it that way. Like
Yeah.
once you're out of the like, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. That's kind of like how I was brought up is like if someone thinks bad about you, then there's probably something bad about you.
It's like no, they're just like something in them is mad because of what you're
Right.
doing, and it's like diving deeper into that. And I think this is what the world needs to be triggered, because then it makes
Yeah.
people think, because they can't like attack us anymore. They gotta
Right.
like look into those feelings. I think in our community they like digest it the way they want to digest it, but so can we.
Hmm.
And it's like it brings me great honor to like be as witchy as I can. And then I have
Yeah.
moments where I'm like, ooh, this is a little bit too much, but I'm like, yeah, it's too much.
Yeah,
And when
exactly. I
and then
am the
you know,
chaos you need in your life.
literally, freaking, there was this. Oh my god, there was one day this guy, he saw me, like he was flirting with me and everything, and then he bowed. There's this really Christian lady next to me, and I think she knew I was like a witch. And then this guy was flirting with me, and he was like getting really nervous, and he bowed down to me, and I was like,
Whoa.
and I'm like, okay, I just ignored it. And the Christian lady was like, and she like ran off, talking shit, and it's like, shit, like what can you do? The power of
He
being
felt called to worship the goddess.
literally, and it's like I didn't even do anything.
That's amazing. I love that.
And it's like even like I a part of me wanted to own the witchiness because like no matter what I trigger people, so it's like I might as well get
Mhm.
this stuff to be mad at.
Right.
Yeah.
I've started wearing like my pentacle all the time. Like I just always have it on now. And I
Mm-hmm.
used to like put it under my clothes and now I'm like whatever. It's if it's under the clothes it's because it wants to be. Like just now it was, but like it doesn't I don't need to hide it.
Yeah, a lot of
It's
people.
funny how many like kids and stuff will like give it compliments because they just think it's pretty. Like, oh, it's
Yeah,
a star in a circle. I'm like, I know it's so pretty. Um, but yeah,
and that's the thing that
I
really
don't think
pisses me
people
off.
care.
Like, kids, they don't see the demonization of certain things until the church and people demonize it. Like I'm noticing my little sister, she'll do witchy things, and I'm
Hmm.
actually even know I'm a witch. She'll just like do like witchy things, and I'm like, naturally as kids we do witchy things until we're told it's bad. It's
Yeah,
demonic. It's gonna open up a portal and some random demon's gonna eat you. It's like like the necklace, it's just a cute star, and then you learn, oh, that's
Right.
the star of Satan. It's like y'all are doing too much.
I don't have any like affiliation to Satan because I'm wearing a necklace.
Yeah, I feel
It's
like
not
people think
even the
I'm
right
really,
one. Like it's like the witch one, not the
yeah,
like the satanic one is
interesting
this
one.
one, right?
Yeah,
Like upside down. Like and I guess it doesn't matter. It's still just a symbol, but I always think it's funny. I'm like, you guys are incorrect. Like
yeah,
if you're gonna be throwing shade, at least be in the know what you're talking about. Like
yeah. I feel like one of my missions is to really highlight how like everyone has a different definition for everything. So like this color red to you may mean that I'm like a seductress, but that's like a whore. But to me, red means passion, and like red represents like my just my energy, I guess, and the green
yeah,
represents like earthing and stuff. And I feel like the green nails, some people could see that and be like, such a witch with her green nails. Because, like, in Disney movies, the green represents evil. But it's like, to
oh
me,
yeah,
green represents healing. So it's all
like
about, like, your
growth
own
and like
definition.
yeah,
Yeah. And it's like, people need to stop, like, thinking just because that's your definition, that's the definition. Because, like, the way I define witch is different than the way you're defining it. And that's where
hmm
there's a
like how do you define witch?
I would say, like, a woman owning her power and is unapologetic to how she gets that power and how she connects to her power. Because like society tries to like tell you that there's only like the only way to connect to power and healing is like through God, through church, through Jesus. It's like unapologetically going towards her calling and like doing that in a way that serves her best. Just doing what's best for her, regardless of if it's demonized or not.
Right?
And like following her calling, regardless of like if it's demonized or not, and like finding solutions to things that people don't want you to find solutions to.
I knew you were gonna say something smart, so I'm like, let's see what she says. Yeah, that's really good.
And we see the beauty in the little things. I'm gonna make sure to
Mhm.
mention this in my video. Like a normal person, they'll see a tree and they'll see like clouds. The witch is like, oh, the clouds are moving this way. This means that. Then like
Right.
the trees are like you know, the sap is coming through the trees and this means that, like, and it's like a color is just a color, but to a witch it's like color magic and like to regular people roses are roses, but to a witch it's like, ooh, let me make rose water out of this. It's a yellow rose, yellow represents happiness. Let me make a happiness oil out of this. We're just finding like an even more like bigger meaning towards the small mundane things. And that's
Right.
like so beautiful. I hate how it's demonized.
People think we're doing something completely different though. When they're demonizing us, they're not thinking like, oh, she's making a happiness potion.
Like it's all about morals. Wickedness. I've seen more wickedness in the church than witches. Like
Oh, that's so
'cause we
true.
have to own our truth as you enter work and stuff. So we're more like aware. We're not like giving our burdens to like a deity. We're like going through dark night of the soul, most of us, and like
Hmm.
healing the parts of ourselves that like hurts people and like without any repercussions versus like some people who are just like, oh, that is what it is.
If you give your burdens to a deity, like a witch deity like Hecate or someone, they just like show you how to help yourself.
Yeah, it's like there's no way out of like doing the
There's
inner
no
work.
like absolution.
And then
Yeah.
people who want to skip it, they'll run back to the church and say it's demonic because they didn't want to own the demonicness that needs to be worked on within them.
Right.
And it's like I feel like my own like darkness I'm working through is one like not smoking weed so much because like every day I'm like let me take a little hit, you know, of being the ethers, and I realize like I'm going into the ethers because I hate society so much. I hate songs is like I literally have a song that's like fuck society.
Yep.
I hate it so much. So like I'll like smoke to escape society, and I'm starting to realize like TikTok, as much as I love it, it's just as depressing as the news. Because like I'll see what the
Hmm.
news isn't showing, and it's making me feel like, what's the point of being sober? Because like being sober just pisses me off. Because it's like so many things need to be fixed, and there's so many things that are normalized that shouldn't be. And even though I'm only taking
Yeah.
like a few minutes a day, I'm like I gotta like get out of this dark night of the soul.
It's not bad, right, to smoke weed, right? But like
Yeah.
if you're depends how you're using it, right? Like it's a
Yeah.
tool, right?
Hmm.
So if
I
like
feel
you're
like I can.
using it to like meditate or something, you'll get deeper stuff. But if you're using it to escape, then that's not necessarily as good for you
Yeah.
long term, I guess. It's like alcohol or anything. It doesn't want to. I don't have my
Have you
snuffer
ever
here.
have
It's
you
like,
ever
no
tried your
thanks.
finger?
That terrifies me. I'm gonna try. No, I'm
You
not.
gotta do it like you gotta trust it. Just like be like, I'm gonna do it and then do it. Just like
You get it wet first?
you just do it. And just believe that you can do it. You
I can
gotta
do
be
it.
quick with it. Yeah.
I'm
Do it.
really scared.
Quick with it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was cool. That kind of hurt, but not very
Yeah, it's
much.
like a little sting. Sometimes you won't feel it.
Mm,
Sometimes you do. Even if
I
sometimes
kind
I'll
of
burn.
like it.
Yeah, it's fun.
Like, ooh, that pain.
Yeah, sometimes when I try it, my nails will get burned because I'm doing it too slow. So you gotta be quick with it. But then if it doesn't want to go out, then it's like you might burn yourself. But if you're like, this is gonna have to go out, this is the time for it to go out, then usually it should work.
I like to get these like antique candle holders,
Mm-hmm.
and I've
Oh,
actually had one explode before because it's made of glass, so it'll like if it gets too low, it just blows up. So
like literally blows up.
yeah, it
Oh,
makes a pop sound, and then glass goes everywhere.
oh my gosh, that's good to know.
It's like a
Yeah,
bomb.
that's something I definitely would want to start collecting.
They're so fun. I love to go to antique stores in general and just find witchy things.
Same. It's so fun. And it's been a minute because I don't have my apartment anymore. And then like I know like my family's Christian, so I don't want to do too much. But
Oh, sure.
when I
Are you
had my
living with your
apartment,
family?
I moved in with my dad and my stepmom. My building like had a floor issue where like the floors are super thin, and then once I left, one of the floors busted through and like fell in.
Good thing you left.
Yeah, good thing I left. I had a treadmill. I just like busted
Oh
through
my
the
God.
treadmill. My sister would always joke when I was on a treadmill. She was like, I don't know, it sounds a little weird. You're gonna fall through the ceiling. I'm like, that never happens. Like once I leave, the ceiling
Oh my
actually does fall
gosh.
through. So yeah, it was so sudden. I ended up like I'm from Connecticut originally, but it was so soon. I had to go with my dad, and then just like get my life together, my stuff in storage, and ever since then, it's just been financial battle because like my
Hmm.
job underpays me and stuff. But I'm excited to take on this whole music thing because if it really does take off, I don't even know how you make money with music. I was thinking like performing maybe like at festivals and stuff could be a way. I'll figure it out as I go.
Yeah, exactly. It's like everything. You just figure it out by making mistakes.
Yeah,
That's why you can't get too worried about the bad that could happen because, like, that's just how you learn, you know?
yeah,
So it's so personal. It's like an extra level. You have to, like, get over it.
yeah, because it's like your soul expressing itself.
Yeah, it's like if someone's reading your diary, but
Yeah,
they're not reading it, you're singing it to a bunch of people.
I showed my friend my song the other day, and she was like, "That's very dark. Your voice." She was kind of thrown off by it. She was like, "It's very dark. If you want to go lighter," and I'm like, "No, that's it. I want to be in that energy of my
Mhm.
dark feminine." And the way she was describing it, I was like, "This is just what my soul is feeling." But
You're
what?
such a like a bubbly person. People don't always see like the underneath. Like it's good.
So excited. It's like being creative is so hard because it's not like someone can give you a schedule and tasks. You got to give yourself a schedule. You got to get yourself the tasks. You've got to like really be on top of it, and it's impossible to be on top of it all the time. So you feel guilty when you
It
can't be on top of it
is.
all the time. Like,
But you're not supposed to even be on top of it all the time. Like it's supposed to ebb
yeah,
and flow. Like their creative process goes like this anyway. The thing that I find helps me, and I know like we're in different businesses and stuff, but is like I have to sleep a lot. Otherwise, I do not. I have
yeah.
no creative energy at all.
Talking to myself about like relax. It's winter, and I'm in my
Mhm.
routine phase, so it's like right before I'm bleeding, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
should be uploading more, but it's like, no, I'm not a robot.
I think women shouldn't be expected to work the same way men do. Just because we entered the workforce doesn't mean we have to keep it the same.
We are not working in a system that is in our favor. It's literally
Yeah.
making us more depleted.
Yeah, it's making us all sick, and we all have like chronic pain stuff, and then unexplainable pain. It's like, yeah, because it's not physical. Like, we're hurting ourselves. A lot of people don't have any choice. If we can model it and make it work and like show that we're making it work, I think that'd be so profound for society. I bet a lot of men would jump on board too.
Yeah, and I feel like the circle, like having community, can help with that too. Because it's like I want to have a community where we can like barter and like a homestead type of energy. Like I wish that was more normalized. That could
Yeah.
definitely help. Like I have all these grapes. You want some grapes? And then the neighbors are like, I
Hmm.
have all this milk for my cow. You want this milk? And we could just like rely on each other. Like I'm out of tissue. Can you like does anyone have an extra roll of tissue instead of going and like having to buy stuff all the time? I
I
think that's
know.
one of the things that led me to my perfume business is because like I couldn't afford getting myself luxury perfumes anymore. So I'm like, let me see if I can make it from these flowers. And I got these essential oils, and I'm like, these actually smell better. And then
Yeah.
the hair products I was using was um like $30 almost, and I would need them like every 2 weeks. And it was like a small tube. So I'm like, let me find out how to make real hair products like out of like herbs, and then it came out really good, and it lasts so much longer.
I wish that I was better at like making my own bread because I've been looking at what's on like store-bought bread and I'm like, why is there all this crap in store-bought bread? It's
Yeah.
literally just supposed to be flour and water, like,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe like whatever herbs you throw in. Like, why are we all buying into that? But we all do. And it's because we
Because we
don't
don't
have
have
enough
time.
time because we're tired from our jobs that deplete us, and it's so backwards. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's it's gotta fix itself. Like, if enough people just like stop doing it the old way, it'll fix itself eventually, I hope.
I feel like more people need to just have time, and it's hard
Mm.
because like now things are more expensive. Like when I
Yeah.
was in my apartment, I was working at a bank, and it was easy for me to pay my bills and shop and stuff. And now it's like I can't even like fully get groceries. Like it's got me feeling like there's something wrong with me, but it's something wrong with the system.
Yeah,
And it's
no,
like
it's
not
not
going to
you.
change until we stop accepting it. It's like I don't know when that's gonna be. So
Right. I want
like
to
in the
figure
next,
out how to get rich by working according to like my hormonal cycle and like the wheel of the year cycle. Like if I can figure out how to just work when I'm meant to work and like make a lot of money in those times and then use the rest to rest, that's what I
I'm
want
just
to
gonna
do.
do my video. That I
Yeah.
think my video will help with that.
I think we need to like help each other with that because it's our nature, but it's also not what we're taught. So we have to like remember it.
I had like this lady. She like randomly had a ton of bread. She baked her own bread, and she just had a ton of it. So she gave me a loaf of bread, and I was like, I was so happy about it. Like I was cheesing like a kid at a toy store because it's like people just don't do that anymore, and it's like this isn't just bread. This is fresh bread, and then she gave it to
Right.
me for free. Like it's things like that that just really makes a huge difference.
That made me like get chills in my arms. Like, oh, bread.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, why am I
It's
so excited about bread?
it's kind of hard to make bread. Like my husband makes fresh bread when he like can. But he hasn't done it much this year because he's been like really tired and overwhelmed and like I miss it, but I haven't done it myself either.
Yeah, I've never made homemade bread yet.
There's something about it. It's kind of like it seems like it'd be easy, but I feel like it'd be really easy to mess up. But
Yeah,
that doesn't mean I shouldn't do it. It just means that I like have a mental block about it.
yeah. Because once you get the hang of it, it'll be like clockwork.
Yeah. And I don't have to make really fancy bread, just like regular bread.
You can always put like herbs in it to make it like a special type of bread, like rosemary
Right.
bread.
Witchy bread, like kitchen
Hmm.
magic.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Now you got me wanting to bake bread. How many ingredients? Probably a lot of ingredients, right?
In bread,
Flour
I
and
think it's not very much. Like, I think it's flour and water and salt or something, like for just basic bread.
let me find out because I have that in my kitchen.
I know, it's like, it's not hard, but we all, like, are not doing it. It would be so fun to, like, get good at it and then make a bunch of different kinds and, like, I think it'd be cool to make different, like, butters and stuff too.
Oh my gosh, like herb butters and herb oils. Like there's
Yeah.
really like endless with herbs. I've made some simple syrups out of like herbs, like hibiscus simple syrup. And it's like I am craving that communal tribe because my family they're not into it. They're just like, what is that? And I'm like,
Mhm.
hibiscus syrup, like from homemade hibiscus. Like I made a homemade cough syrup with honey and onion, and my sister was sick, and I'm like, "Do you want some? Because it really helps." And she's like, "Ew,
Yeah.
no." And I'm like, "Ew, no. It tastes good. It's actually
Like, have you
effective."
seen, like, the stuff that's in your cough syrup?
You
Like,
know, and I'm like, "What is wrong with you people?" Oh
what did I
god.
make? Oh, I could show you. I made a big jar of, like, cleaning, like, I wanted to get into, like, house cleaning, like, and make it more witchy so that I actually wanna do it. Um, and so I made it has to sit for, like, 3 weeks, but I made, like, a pine sol with, like, pine needles and what's it called? Vinegar,
Mm-hmm. I've
and
been
it's
meaning
supposed
to.
to smell, like, really good in a while, but right now it just smells like vinegar. But it was so fun. We just made a giant jar, and it's just sitting there, like,
How long does it sit
being like,
for?
percolating. What?
How long does it sit for?
It can sit for up to 6 months according to the internet.
Okay,
But we
I
had
gotta
a
try
wreath
that.
that we were gonna put up, and, like, I never ended up putting up outside, and I was like, "I wanna do something with these pine needles because they smell so good." And then I looked it up on the internet, and I'm like, "Oh, that's really easy, and I can do it," and I got really into it, and
I live for stuff like that.
it's so fun. Like, now I really wanna use it. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
really excited for when I can use it, but it's only, like, a week old now. Have to wait.
I didn't know you had to wait that long. So that means I should probably start mine now. It's gonna take that long. I thought it was gonna take a week.
Well, it depends on what you use probably, but I think the only reason is because then it smells less like vinegar, it, like, distills it a little bit or whatever. I don't know if that's the right word, but, like, the
We'll
smell
see.
improves. But I don't even hate the smell of vinegar, so it might be fine,
Yeah, if you don't mind it.
right?
I heard some people put oranges in it too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or, like, lavender or something. I just did a very basic one with what I had. Then next time I'll probably make it fancier somehow.
Yeah.
What else have I made? I made Florida water once.
Ooh, I always wanted to eat that.
It's so fun. I made it with vodka, though.
How are you supposed to make it?
I think there's a bunch of different ways you can make it. Um, but I wasn't quite sure what to do with it after I made it, so I, like, drank it, and it was delicious.
Oh
Like vodka
wow,
and cinnamon and some other
cool.
things just threw in there.
That's really cool. Drinking it is like a fun little like
I
magical shot
know.
to make it
Yeah, it was
trend.
good. It tasted like medicinal kind of.
Yeah, I gotta try that.
Mhm. I made it to do for, like, after a ritual or something, because sometimes, like, after a ritual, I'll, like, have a teeny bit of vodka because it, like, snaps me out of it kind of. Um, and, like, that's why I keep it, like, in the house, but I only keep, like, the little ones, otherwise people drink it. I'm like, "No,
That's
this isn't for
fun.
drinking, this is magic." Like, this is my magic stuff, like, it's in my magic stuff.
Yeah, it's like it's
Yeah,
not a shot, it's a magical shot.
right. But I did end up drinking it, and it was delicious. But it's like a cleanse or something, like, it felt fun.
I love that practice, but after a spell, because I do get tired after doing magic,
Yeah.
and like
Th
I'm just
there's
like,
something
I'm like,
about
no,
how it's, like, harsh or something, like, it just kinda and I don't
yeah,
like, dark liquors, so
yeah, yeah.
I don't even really like vodka, but it seems clean or something, I don't know. It
Yeah.
worked. It was fun.
Like a harsh. I gotta try that. I think I just might literally try that. Like taking
Yeah.
out the shot after
Yeah.
spell stuff.
It kind of snaps you out of like the I don't know what it is, but like sometimes like it takes a while for me to like get back to earth. Kind of like I'm just like in my like witchy zone and then I'm like, yeah, but now I have to do something else. So it kind of helps like bring
Yeah.
your awareness to your body, I guess. Oh
Yeah, I can see that.
my gosh, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Ah, I
The
love that.
line. We're in the
Perfect.
line, Tyler.
You're the best.
We are too. I'll see ya.
Bye.